Good morning, dear viewers. A warm welcome to our GRTS studios. This is the Monday edition of the AM show coming to you live from the Gambia radio and television services. Well, we are breaking live to bring you the picture of a new day with your early morning show that sets your day in motion. We give you the very best of current affairs, entertainment, sports, and some exciting interviews with the people who matter. I'm your presenter, by Ibrahim Cham, and coming up in the program, young Gambian writer Babakar Jeng is set to launch his book entitled The Way We See the Problem is the Problem. Well, we will hear from the author himself in this subsequent show. Now, the Young Social Scientists Association embarks on a two-day COVID-19 risk communications in the West Coast region. Now, find out how did the crucial event actually go. And in sports, leagues resume in Europe after the international break. We will join our sports correspondent, Farmer Baji, who will take a look at scores and the engagement of Gambian players. Well, all these and much more coming ahead in the show. Do stay with us, and thanks for joining us. Good morning and welcome back to the AM show. Now, obviously, we have to start with our breakfast segment, and my co-host is a foodie, someone who loves food so much. Good morning.
Good morning, Bye, and good morning, viewers, and a warm welcome to the AM show. Bye, how was your weekend?
It was wonderful. I went to the beach yesterday.
That's great.
Yeah, with the family. We had a nice time at the beautiful beach.
Really?
You know, beaches are. It's my escape zone where I go to, escape.
Yeah, it's really refreshing,
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
But since we're about to go to the breakfast segment, I want to hear from you. What is your perfect breakfast?
Let me say, not muro akara, not that. Let me say a vegetable omelette.
Vegetable omelette?
Yeah, I love vegetable omelette.
Okay, do you have it with tea with milk or coffee with milk or just coffee?
I don't take coffee.
You don't take coffee?
I don't, no.
You don't like it, or you're just not fascinated?
I was advised
not to take coffee.
Not to take
So
coffee.
you do tea and milk with
or tea with lime, yeah.
And do you have juice on the side? Because I'm just
no juice. I love having juice right after lunch, but not
after
breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to know this because when I take you on holiday, when we go to Dubai, maybe.
Oh my God! I can't wait.
And the waiter comes at the hotel, and tells us, what kind of breakfast we want to have. So we have to get ourselves used to these, exotic breakfasts.
Of course, yes. Some vegetable omelette. I love vegetable omelette. Maybe with tea and lime.
I know there's a type of breakfast that I don't even know the name. I'll wait till I get to Dubai. I'll find out. No worries. So,
anyways,
Let's start our breakfast segment to find out what's on the menu. Let's take a look at this video, probably by Chef Bojang or Chef Usman Man. Let's see who's coming.
Welcome to the breakfast segment. Milton, coming to you on GRTS. I am yourself, Chef Usman Man. I'll be doing for you today an omelette stir fry. Sounds weird? Oh, you'll fall in love with it once it is ready. Now I have my ingredients are here: eggs, tomato, chili. Of course, I like it, so whenever I'm cooking, I add chili into my cooking. This is sweet pepper, spring onion, and of course, I will need an onion. I will cut the onion into tagliatelle kind of shape, and then I will stir fry it with the vegetables. But I need to make billions of vegetables, so that's what exactly I'm going to do.
Now I have defeat them. They switch off the light, thinking I'ma fall apart. Well, now be clean, follow the ways of the prophet. I stand with my flute at the middle of the market, see no one and blow up my drum.
And of course, I will need some tomatoes. I prefer to use the cherry tomato for color because they have a vibrant red color, so I prefer to use that one.
And if these people can handle the way I do me, I won't have to.
Now the vegetables are ready. Now what I'm going to do is to break the eggs into this. I'm going to make an omelette out of the egg, a flat omelette. Make sure your omelette is as flat as possible because you're going to cut it into.
Doubting, they say my sounds are weak and so boring. Well, yeah, still is the countrywide anthem.
Here is your eggs ready, 3 pieces of egg. Now I'm adding salt and pepper, just salt and pepper. That's all you need. You're not adding any other thing because all the vegetables are coming in.
Just like a train, I keep on dropping it now.
I'm adding oil onto the pan. Just a tablespoon of oil should suffice.
I don't care what is heat.
I'll pour the mixture into the pan and make sure you spread it as evenly as possible. Slice it. Yes, it is cooked perfect as I would like it. Now what I'm going to do is put it on the chopping board. That's your omelette. Look how beautiful it is. Now I'm going to add margarine onto my pan, just enough to do the magic. Now what you're going to do is fold this like that and then slice it into like juliennes or tagliatelle shape. It's really long. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is to throw in the onions into the fry pan. I'm going to add some chilies because I love my food hot. But chili is preferred. If you don't want it, please don't add it into your cooking. I like it very hot, so for me I don't mind. In fact, when I'm cooking for people, I don't add chili because I don't know when it is enough for them. So I'll prefer to give them a chili sauce, let them make up for themselves. Okay? Now, I guess at this point the onions are soft enough, so I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. Mind you, you can add any other ingredients that you can saute. If you have mushroom, you can add it onto it. Rosewater with it. At this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some salt and pepper onto this. This is milk and then so it should be ready within 10 minutes. Now at this point, I'm going to throw in the omelette that we did before. Oh, this is I'm going to add my cherry tomatoes and So the seasoning will soak up into the omelette and it is ready. Look how fast it is. I'm going to present this. It is omelette, we can all do it at home, just that it is a different twist of the usual omelette that we know. But believe me, you can do it at home. So simple and fast. And it's
I don't wanna play, but you take my heart away. Oh, Jaja, Jaja, moya, Jaja. Chipata gaja, Jaja, song. I'm content baby together. Oh, Jaja, Jaja, moya, Jaja. Chipata gaja.
yes, sir. Thank you. You actually can serve it with senfour, but again, I know most Gambian like tapalapa, especially the trames that I know, because it is more filling. Here you go, meal santen ready within 10 minutes. That's your meal.
Boy, you bad, oh, yeah, do you?
Wow, my favorite vegetable omelette there by Ibrahim Cham.
Yeah,
but I prefer it with the senfour.
With the senfour.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I don't like tapalapa.
Some people will take the sliced bread like
Yeah.
but it's a quick fix, it's a quick breakfast, just like 10
That
minutes.
meals
And,
at 10,
actually
yeah.
have a very healthy breakfast, which is actually really good.
Now, moving on. An association dubbed the Young Social Scientists Association, formed by young people from different academic and professional backgrounds, with a principal focus on responding to developmental constraints at grassroots through research and volunteerism, recently embarked on a 2-day COVID-19 risk communications and distribution of face masks and toiletries in communities across the West Coast region. Well, for more on that, we are joined in the studio by Sana Baji, the Secretary General, and Awaba, the Public Relations Officer. Welcome to both of you to the AM show.
Thank you for having us.
Good. Now, give us a brief information about your association and its membership. Awa?
Okay, thank you very much. So, like you rightly said, the Young Social Scientists Association embarked on a 2-day tour to sensitize on COVID-19. So the Young Social Scientists Association was established in December, 16th of December 2020.
Okay.
So we decided to embark on a tour to sensitize people on the COVID issue, because that is what is trending now. People have the notion that COVID is over because they are seeing cases dropping in Gambia, but not knowing that there's a second wave in which some other countries are, facing, and it is very threatening. So like you rightly read, the membership is open for everyone.
Okay.
It doesn't lie on one religion. Every religion is welcomed to the association, sexes and ages. Everybody is welcome to the association. Yeah.
Great. Now, why the need for COVID-19 risk communications? Why do you have to, create awareness on COVID-19?
Okay, thank you. Another important question. So like I said, COVID is what is trending now, and we decided to choose the provincial Gambia, because according to them, when we went there, they said that they are giving soap and some detergents, but they are not enlightened on that. So we decided to choose those places because they are, I mean, vulnerable as well. So we knew that if we should choose those places, it would be a great impact in society, because government cannot do all. So the issue of going in for COVID-19 is basically because that is what is trending, and also the places we chose are most vulnerable, yes, because that is, they have a border between Gambia and Senegal.
Okay, great. Now, Mr. Baji, who were your partners in this two-day engagement?
Thank you very much once again for having us. Our partners are the Gambia Red Cross Society and AfriCell Gambia Limited, two most instrumental institutions with regards to the fight against COVID-19.
Okay. Now, which communities were visited, and what were the realities found on the ground as far as COVID-19 is concerned?
Yeah, the communities visited in Brikama South constituency, to be specific, Marakisa Ward, and this includes Manduar, Penyem, Busura, and Dasilang.
Okay. Now, so in all, we can say your activities were a success in the West Coast region.
Yeah, they are very successful because due to the feedback, this is evident by the feedback we got from the field. Because as my colleague said, when we went to, especially schools, the kids were excited that, they didn't have a comprehensive understanding of this virus, because for them it is strange. How can a virus that came from China, Wuhan, came to the Gambia, and then what is this virus that is, making them not go to school for almost 6 months? Do you understand? So they, in fact, the kids were asking a lot questions, because we were made to understand after the resumption of school, some health workers are not, assigned to the schools to engage the students on it. Only toiletries and other, detergents were given to them. But the kids were not that enlightened about the virus, because they want to know. With regards to the communities, generally there was an acceptance that there is COVID-19, but there are also some section of the community that don't believe that COVID-19 is real, because they, this was informed by the kind of questions they were raising, like the Gambia, the health ministries were saying in a time that malaria is killing Gambians, but when COVID came, there wasn't anything about malaria. What they are saying, COVID, every death they related to COVID-19. So this shows you that there are some members of the community that are not in agreement that there is COVID-19. But the purpose of the sensitization was based on arming them with the required knowledge about COVID, and preparing them for in case of a resurgence of COVID-19, because we have seen in countries like Kenya, where the government relaxed, and then there wasn't any discipline in the community with regards to adhering to the scientific protocols. Right now, they are in another curfew. You understand? So we don't want that to happen in the Gambia. That's why we target these communities. One, because of their close proximity to the borders. And then two, when there are restrictions, they are mostly affected because these are farming communities. You understand? And then we also, in this sensitization, we made them believe that we make them believe that when there is a second wave, you will be the most affected. And then it will affect your socio-economic issues, and then this will encourage them to even involve in the fight against COVID-19.
Yeah, the very interesting thing is that your organization is actually constituted of different professionals from different fields of work, and despite that COVID-19 is actually happening, I believe that there are other things, other avenues that you can actually talk about, and other topics that you can actually talk about and sensitize the people in upcountry or the people here in the Greater Banjul area with regards to, for example, FGM, gender-based violence. There are so many broad issues that you have professionals within your group that can actually talk about. Have you actually considered this in the long run?
Yeah, in fact, that is the principal aim of this association, that is contributing to national development or responding to the challenges of the communities through research and volunteerism, because we know there is a very, very big gap in research in the Gambia here. And I can tell you by observation that some of the policies of this country are not informed by well research. So there will be a gap in that. So we even plan to sensitize, because why COVID-19 right now is because it is one of the factor that threatens development, that even threatens some republics, because many people are dying. You understand? But it is in our plan to sensitize the community, to go to the communities and then find out why some projects are failing, and then of course recommend to the policymakers. Of course, we also do what we call petitioning, like for example, a ministry responsible to deliver a service not delivering, we just make research, we find out, and then we can petition the National Assembly with regards to that. So basically, that is in our plan. Like we have a lot of social issues that are affecting this country, especially in the development of women and gender equality. There is a lot of issues, even in terms of education, quality and relevant education, as you see. So that is our focus. We are involving in the COVID-19 sensitization because it is one of the factors that affect all these things I mentioned.
Yeah. Mr. Baji, finally, what's your message?
Well, my message to the Gambians with regards to COVID-19, first, before my message, when we went to the communities, they asked us to extend this to the ministry or to the authority responsible. That, since, like I said in my introduction, since the school resumes, there wasn't health personnel in the school to enlighten the students and even some members of the community, because we know also government cannot do it alone. But this is the outcry of the schools that they need health personnel, especially schools in the provincial Gambia, because they believe that the authorities also always stop in the combos. Everything is just centralized, so they should consider going. So my message is like to tell Gambians that COVID-19 is still with us. We should take example of Kenya and other countries where after relaxing the restrictions, people were not adhering to the medical and scientific guidelines put forward by WHO and then our ministries. So I'll advise them to still put on the face masks. They can go for their activities, but ensure that the face mask is there, and then of course hand sanitizers to prevent.
And the physical distancing.
Exactly,
as well.
the physical distancing as you are with your co-host. I think that one is very important.
Good.
Great.
Well,
thank you very much.
Maybe Awa, you might have a final message to put across.
Okay, just to say it in the voice of the principal of Penyang Junior and High School, he said that the Ministry of Health, the officials should leave their offices and go to the provincial Gambia and enlighten them. So that is very important. He said that they just send them, detergents and some toiletries, but they don't go there to enlighten them. So that is very bad. They were very happy because we went there. So I'm urging them to leave their offices, according to what he said, and then get to that place and talk to them.
Well, Sanabaji, Secretary General, and our the Public Relations Officer of the Young Social Scientists Association, thank you very much for your time here on the AM show.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Well, we take a short break and return with the French segment very soon. Don't go nowhere.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee With. I am your host Sainabu Jang, and my guest with me today is Mr. Aliou Sow, and he is the co-founder of Plastics Recycle Gambia. We'll do nothing but go into the interview and find out more about Mr. Sow and why he co-founded in the plastic recycling Gambia. Thank you. So, Mr. So, thank you for coming to the Coffee With platform.
Thank you, Zainab, for having me.
You're welcome. So, one of my first questions and my favorite is for you to tell Coffee With who was Mr. Aliu Sow before he became the co-founder of Plastic Recycling Gambia.
Thank you so much for that question. Greetings to everyone who are watching or listening. I appreciate it a lot that you invited me here to talk about this project, plastic recycling. Who was me before I started plastic recycling? I was a hotelier or somebody in the hospitality industry, working in the hospitality industry in the Gambia here. I work in Kairaba Hotel, Sheraton Hotel before moving to the Emirates, to Westin Abu Dhabi, and then Dubai Sheraton Hotel, W Hotel, and so it was all hotels and customer service in the hospitality industry before I started this project. Yeah.
Okay, so it seems that you've always had an interest in, serving people, being accustomed to customer services, and you've traveled as well in this time of your job. So tell us about that experience.
Yeah, hospitality has been something in me, and then serving people, like you said, interacting with different kind of people around the world. That's why since I finished school in 2004, I couldn't go do anything. My focus was only in hotels or anywhere that I will interact with nationalities or different cultures. That was really what took me to hotels, So it was a great experience because I know a lot of Gambians now. I know a lot of people around the world. I learned different cultures. I met so many people around the world, and I'm grateful for that. So that was kind of my passion, and serving people, making people happy in hotels and anywhere that deals with customer service and the hospitality industry. So that was my passion, but I was also looking at ways not only to serve people but help people as well to be working and gaining something. So it was like I was in the hospitality industry but also researching or trying to see what to do back home to start up something. So it was always in me. When I was in the hospital, I talked to people about farming. I talked to people about recycling. So that's how I started.
Okay, yeah. Nice. So now it would be nice to know what it was like growing up as a young Aliu Sow back in the day.
Yeah, as a rural or somebody from the village, I think we all know how it is, but most of us have gone through similar experience in the village. So it wasn't easy, but as a fuller man as well, we know cattle rearing, taking the cows or cattle to the bush, like they say, gainakos, hardship or a shepherd. That's what I was going to school in the afternoon, going to the farm. If I didn't go to school, then go take the cattle to the, because we know rainy season as well, school normally close. So, and we know rearing cattle normally happens in the rainy season, taking them to the bush and like that. So that's how I was with my family in the village. So growing up, we naturally you are a farmer, and for a fuller you are farming plus cattle rearing, which is also part of farming, but we do both farming in the farms and then the cattle rearing side. So that's how I was growing, and then my focus was also to come and to Combo to further my education, because we all believe that it is all here in Combo that then you can get good education, and that's what brought me to do my senior school in Muslim senior. I stayed in Banjul, I stayed in Serekunda, and finally stayed in Pipeline here. So going to school in Muslim. So just after finishing the school, Muslim senior, in 2004, like I said, my focus was in hotels, in the industry, because when I was in the village,
Well, welcome back to the AM show. That was our very own Sainabu Jain, always discussing interesting things with the people who really, really matter.
A very interesting personality she actually has on the coffee with. You know, I think our next guest should even have a session with Sainabu Jain on the coffee with to have an extensive interview and outlook on the type of personality he actually is. But moving on, young Gambian writer Babukar Jeng is set to launch his book entitled The Way We See the Problem is the Problem in December. Now, the author is also into many development programs with the Gambia First, a civil society organization that engages in peace building. For more on the book launching and the organization, we have Babukar Jeng and Omar Dabo to discuss on that more. Gentlemen, welcome to the program. Welcome to the AM show.
Thanks for having me.
Starting off with Babukar, let's start with the book. We've talked about the book some time back in my office and here on the AM show before. Now tell us about the plans to launch the book.
Actually, we are planning to launch the book on the 26th of December, which is going to fall on a Saturday at Caraba Hotel.
Okay.
The reason why it dragged, simply because of the lockdown.
Yeah.
We couldn't gather people together. But looking at the situation right now, we just want to give it a shot because we felt that it's long overdue because of the content of the book.
Okay. Now the caption of the book is quite catchy. The way we see the problem is the problem. Some people are aware of the book and have actually got first hand to actually read the book. What have they been telling you about the book? What's their reaction?
Actually, I'll start with myself. It's something I read on daily basis. It keeps me going. And I have a couple of feedbacks, from the elderly world, to the female world, and the youth world. Everybody that reads the book, tells me that their perceptions have changed, the way they see things. And that's the reason why I wrote the book, just to change the perception of the people. Because if we change the way we see things, the way we do things will change, and the results will be different. So that was the target, and I'm proud of that. That many people that I have the chance to give the book to, when they read the book, they got back to me, with a positive
comment.
Yeah, with positive comments. Yeah. So.
Interesting. Now, Mr. Jeng, let's look at some of the contents like the identity, the theft, and the personality trait, and the great middle. What are you trying to explain?
Actually, when you look at identity theft, and you look at the world that we're living in, and actually, I'm writing a book presently called The Mask. It's something that has to do with identity theft. When you look at the world right now, people are not themselves. Many people that you come across, they're trying to look like somebody else.
That's the fake life.
Looking at the female world, you look at the hair, look at the eyelashes they add, look at the nails and.
Oh my God!
Yeah, going to the.
But we men, we're okay, okay, yeah.
We also have our own problems.
Not all men are okay.
Exactly. when you go to the gym, there's a gym that I go to.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a trainer who tells me, so what muscles do you want to build? I tell him I want to build my mental muscles and my emotional muscles. I want to be strong in mind and heart. That's the reason why I came to the gym. Not to build muscles and look like, what I mean. So at the end of the day, people are so caught up in that world of appearance, and we are deeper than what we see from the outside. So I just want to encourage people to go inside out, rather than getting stuck in brands and looks and skin and hair. So that's all about identity theft.
What about the great middle?
Actually, when you look at the great middle, people right now are on the extreme. We go to the extreme in everything that we do. That's why you hear this word extremism. People are not moderate. I just want people to balance. Because life is all about balance. So it's all about helping people. People balance.
You have some very great content in that book. Let's talk about the personality trait.
Yeah, personality trait. I believe in personalities, you know, because personalities are about, you know, thoughts and emotions. Because the way you think, you know, conditions, like I say, the way you do things, and it's inside out. There are outside circumstances that are out there, and we interact with these circumstances on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So depending on your personality, you know, that's the way you overcome things that are outside there. These are the circumstances that are around us. So it's like the neurons that fire together, they wire together. So it's like a fiber that's been built inside you, which is your personality trait. So everything can change outside of you, but when your personality is strong, there's nothing that can change you from the inside.
Well, you know, it's very interesting if you have all of these different perception of these different looks of how you actually see things. Now, coming to the fact that with how Africa actually is and the impact you want this book to have on people, let's take it on the flip side. If you actually, because at some point, 2017 or 2016, 2017, you were running for the KMC mayor, and if you actually won the KMC mayor, what would be your approach into development and social economic things in the Gambia?
Actually,
or in KMC?
Yeah, exactly. The reason why I jumped into politics, it's because I have a deep eye. You know, I see things with my heart. And when I prognose things, you know, I felt that running for office should be more than, you know, trying to give people infrastructure. I just wanted to focus on people, and not the physical bit of people, but the aspect of people that is inside of us. Because today when you look at poverty, poverty is a state of mind. You know, and many people, they are in that mentality that they are poor. Some people, they are sick because of their state of mind, because they felt that the circumstances around them are making them sick. I will take this example. There was this time I was a bit younger, and there's this woman they used to call Doma, like she's a witch. And we used to pass through, you know, their compound gate to go and play football. So there was this time that I was going to play football when I came across this woman. So when she looked at me, I felt sick instantly because I thought that she ate me from the inside. You know, so with my mind that, okay, she looked at me, you know, I went back home shivering, like I got sick. I felt ill for a week.
Wow.
You know, with only that mindset that, okay, she ate me, you know.
Are you sure she actually didn't?
It's just the mind, you know.
It's the mind, yeah.
It's just the mind. So the reason why, like I told you, I jumped into politics, it's just to change the mindsets. You know, because when you look at today, the leadership of the world, they don't engage people when it comes to, you know, feeding their minds and feeding their hearts. They don't educate the people emotionally and mentally. Because when you educate the people emotionally and mentally, whatever you bring on the table, people appreciate it. People feel themselves as part of this synergy to keep a municipality or a country up and running. Because it's not only the government or the local government that runs a country or a municipality. It's the people themselves that run the municipality. Because whatever you put on the table, if you build roads or you come and clean all the streets, and the people's mindset are not properly made, what happened is, you know, they throw things in the streets. One time I have an encounter with the present mayor. We were talking, and he was complaining about people are not throwing rubbish in the bins, and there are bins all over. He said he has an experience where he was driving by, and one man was eating, and the bin was next to him. After the guy finished eating, he didn't even throw it in the bin. He just threw the bin. He just threw the rubbish down. Wow. I told him the mistake you did was you didn't put the bins in the minds of the people first. Because if the bins were in the minds of the people, then the people would know the worth of the bins and they would throw things in the bins. So we just came and just implement our strategies and our plans without involving the people.
Absolutely.
We tend to work for people, not with people.
Well, that's a very interesting approach. And now, you actually work with this organization dubbed the Gambia First, and we have Omar Dabo, who is part of the executive of the whole organization itself. Now, Mr. Dabo, thank you for coming on the AM show. Now, tell us a little bit about the work you do with regards to the Gambia First.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Omar Dabo, and I am the security advisor of the Gambia First.
Security advisor.
Security advisor.
Okay, that's interesting.
Gambia First is a group of concerned citizens.
Why didn't you tell them you're ex-Marine?
Yeah, I was working in the Navy too.
Gambian Navy or U.S. Navy?
Yeah, in the Gambia Navy.
Gambian Navy, okay.
Yeah, I worked in the Gambia Navy for 7 years.
Okay.
I was supposed to serve for...
Put your mic up, please.
Yeah, I was supposed to serve for 9 years. Then I served for 7. Then I applied for voluntary discharge. Then I went for graphic design. That's what I was studying.
Okay.
Until I met up Mr. Jen, who is the founder of the Gambia First.
Okay.
And he introduced me to the concept.
Okay, now what do you do with regards to the Gambia First? What's the primary objective of the Gambia First?
Okay, the objective of the Gambia First is to bring the hearts and minds together. Like, because if you see the Gambia right now, like, we are divided politically when it comes to religion, when it comes to tribalism. So we are trying to break that barrier, to bring that brotherhood within our communities. You see, like, Gambia First is like very concerned with the way things are going right now.
Okay.
So it's not going to be very far before the election starts. And then, like, we want to advocate with the people, I mean, to bring the hearts and minds together, like I said.
Okay. Now, if this organization actually happens to get on its first footing, now, what are the necessary engagements you will actually do to actually make sure that this thing you're actually talking about gets to happen?
And the authorities, okay, which are the political leaders, religious leaders, I mean, and our community leaders too.
Really?
Well, have you started engaging authorities?
Because we met up with the Ministry of Interior, we discussed with them. We met up with the police IG and other security chiefs.
Now, tell us the importance of such engagements with the relevant authorities.
Okay, the engagement is to ensure that the authorities reach out to the community, and the community also to reach out to the authorities. Yeah, to ensure that we the authorities and the community.
You know, on my way coming to work, I was listening to the radio, and there's this program I actually listen to every morning. They were actually talking about security within the Greater Banjul area and the security within us young people ourselves, because there's an incident that happened over the weekend. A young boy, 15, 16 years old, got stabbed at Joko Birkama and actually died. And they had to close the club. So, to my understanding of what you're talking about, the whole organization itself is to actually do peace building and make sure that these different communities, different people actually, you know, get to nurture the peace that the Gambia is actually known for. Now, for instances like this that actually happen in Joko Birkama, and there's a whole industry behind this that actually leverages on shows, events, concerts. So these gatherings are bound to happen. Now, what type of work can you do, and I would like Babu Karjeng to actually speak on this too, what type of work can you do to ensure that when people gather in such places and having a nice time, that violence won't actually occur?
It's going to be through community policing.
Community policing.
Community policing.
Yeah.
Because security is everybody's responsibility. It's not going to be laid only in the hands of the security forces, because Gambia belongs to all of us. So, like, we have, like I was saying, like, through advocacy, people will know their responsibilities as patriotic citizens.
Mr. Jeng, would you like to speak on that?
Yeah. Actually, my take on crime, because it's this...
youth crime, especially youth. These are 15, 16-year-old kids who actually gang up upon people. When you go to the stadium, you see them ganging up on your car, opening your cars, trying to rob you. Sometimes they do broad daylight robbery. And they have, the most concerning thing is that they are young, 16, 17, 18-year-old kids.
Yes. My take on crime, because I lived in Johannesburg, South Africa, in the most disturbing area called Hillbrow. And as a youngster growing up, I had the mistakes that I did, ended up in a gang with my own gun and all that stuff. So I know what being in the streets is when it comes to the youngsters. It's all about drugs.
Drugs.
It's all about drugs. And now alcohol.
And the peer pressure as well.
Yeah, and peer pressure. You see, I believe in treating problems from the roots. It all starts from the home. That's why we want to engage, like he said, we want to engage the community. We have a model, and the model we use is, you see, the human being is deep. There's spirituality in us, and we have a mind. So all we want to do is to engage every single person that is in society, from the imams, the priests, from these community elders. Even when you go to the ghetto, you'll find somebody that all the ghetto youths listen to. So we want to use the authorities for them to go down to the level of these people, not just to go and enforce, to arrest them and go and put them in jail, but to go down at their level and educate them. You know, the harm that drugs can do to them. You know, and to enlighten them, both spiritually and mentally, so that they would know the dangers that they are into. It's all about engagement, because they are not bad people. Today, if you go to that individual that start that person to death, he's regretting at this point in time, because he's sober. Might be the time he was doing it, he wasn't sober. But right now, you know, he's not himself. So we believe in engagement and trying to get their minds onto the right things.
Wow. Interesting.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Babukar Jeng and Omar Dabo, for coming on the AM show. Unfortunately, time is actually running against us. We have very few minutes to go. But it will be lovely to actually have you on a very lengthy conversation with regards to your book and this Gambia First initiative that you actually embarked on. We'll go for a short break now, and when we return, the AM show continues with the French segment. Yep, welcome back to the AM show, and quickly we have the French segment before we take leave of you. Ramata, bonjour.
Bonjour, Ramata.
à tous sur votre chaîne, le leader GRTS, pour votre segment en français sur votre programme EMSO. Nous commençons sur l'initiative de l'habilitation des femmes. Le réseau des zones leaders féminines de l'Afrique de l'Ouest du chapitre gambien a conclu une formation de 2 jours. La prévention et la consolidation de la paix de conflit. La synergie a amené entre les participants à travers des pays vise à distribuer un message d'habilitation dans leur communauté et leurs organisations respectives à la fin de la formation. Nous poursuivons le ministre du Tourisme et de la Culture accompagné par les têtes institutionnelles sous son article à visiter Stone Cycle de Kerbach, un site historique qui est l'une des plus uniques sites à travers le pays. Là où on peut trouver la pierre en forme de V, dont c'est l'histoire derrière l'unicité de la site historique âgée de plus de 100 ans. Enfin, nous terminons avec l'Alliance de la protection de l'enfant avec l'association de fonds des enfants à commémorer cette année la journée mondiale de l'enfant. La cérémonie a été organisée à Bijilo. La cérémonie a amené ensemble les élèves, les officiels publics et le secteur privé ont présenté une scène dramatique et des poèmes et des compétitions pour observer l'événement mondial. Merci, c'est tout ce que nous avons pour votre segment en français.
Ah, merci beaucoup, Ramataba. Merci, merci. Well, bye. Bye. What's happening?
No.
Oh my goodness. It's so interesting.
No, I was just thinking about something. I went deep.
Oh my goodness.
But Ramata.
Oh my.
Ramata, qu'est-ce qu'il y a sur la Charoy?
Charoy, c'est quoi Charoy?
Charoy, c'est la malade.
Je ne sais pas ce que c'est Charoy.
Lan mo xew Charoy amna febar bu génn Charoy.
Ah, ok, c'est une maladie.
Xana dégo français yow tamit ah malay lak français nga may tuuti.
Du Charoy kay Sénégal la Dakar.
Ouais. Non, ouais, febar bu Charoy la
qui ne contamine pas les gens. Dafa nek febar bo xamné du wala ken waye daf ci geej bi la mool yi ñoko nekkat yi ci geej bi. Waye du wala.
Ah, ci geej gi la joggé. Bo lekkee jën gi day dang ko am wala?
Nga lekka ko lekkuloo ko daal soo de am na fooy jaar rek soo fa demee rek dang koy am waaye doo wàlla kenn soo ko amee.
Ah, okay, bah.
It's not an Olaf segment.
Well, that draws the curtains on this today's edition of the AM show. A very special thanks to our wonderful viewers for watching, and to our producer, Isaac Keita. I hope she gets well very quickly. Wish her a speedy recovery. And to our director, Farmer Baji, not forgetting our cameraman in the studio, technicians, and a very wonderful job behind the scenes. Well, till we come your way again, Uni.
Yeah, the TRRC is up next. Do stay tuned and enjoy the rest of our programs. Have a blessed day ahead.